Welcome to my film methods video essay. In this video I'll be presenting my methodological approach on how I would make my film Compass. I will be taking you through each step of my process to make this film through each stage of production. The film takes place in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where Kara, a bold 11-year-old girl, wakes up with no memories of who she is or where she is. She finds a compass with a note attached placed next to her, telling her to head northeast where she will find a large building where everyone has sought shelter. Along her journey, she comes across Zach, a boisterous 8-year-old boy. Taking him with her, she continues her journey and different memories come back to her along the way, and longs to be reunited with her family. She must endure the tough and arduous journey, all whilst dealing with Zach's antics. Eventually, they find the building and quickly they both realise that this journey may have been a terrible mistake. For the story of Compass, several films inspired the many aspects of the script, characters, setting and the plot. I was influenced by how the teenagers talk to each other and how none of them retain any memories from before they found themselves in the maze, whilst Thomas does remember a few things like his name, like Kara in my script. This film centres around a man wandering through a post-apocalyptic world, protecting a sacred book that has the key to save the world. This greatly influenced my script, as the compass is the sacred item and Kara is the one in possession of this, protecting it as it is her only source of hope. Regarding casting, I was very torn between using actors or non-actors. John Cassavetes was known for his actor-centred approach to filmmaking, presumably as he was a very skilled actor himself. He created an environment on set where the actors had freedom to experiment with their performances. Being inspired by this, I decided that the girl cast in the role of Kara will be trained in acting and will be given a full script, as Kara has the most lines between the two characters in my film and requires a good level of confidence to play the role, with some improvisation encouraged. Many influential directors like Robert Bresson and Vittorio De Sica have opted to use non-actors. Robert Bresson believed that professional actors would render a film absurd and wished to avoid film theatre and embrace cinema's unique potential. Vittorio De Sica is my main inspiration for my approach to making this film. He was known for having a commitment to working with non-professional actors, although he was a skilled actor much like Cassavetes, shooting on location using available lighting and encouraging intense character exploration and improvisation, and frequently using children as protagonists. The children in his films always had very natural and raw performances, which is exactly what I want for the character of Zach. The boy playing the role of Zach will be a non-actor and will only be given a rough outline of the story with no script or lines given to him. This is because I want him to be genuine and bounce off Kara's lines and mannerisms how he sees fit. My main inspiration for the character of Kara is Ellie from the TV series The Last of Us. Ellie in the TV series can be described as a 14-year-old girl who displays much defiance and anger but has a private need for kinship and belonging. Kara has a much more explicit desire for kinship and belonging, hence why she is desperately trying to recall memories of her family who she must find. Both main characters in Son of Rambo were my main inspirations for the character of Zach. The film is about two schoolboys, Lee and Will, who attempt to make an amateur film inspired by the 1982 action movie First Blood. In my script, Zach, being completely alone before he is found by Kara, has created his own imaginary world subconsciously inspired by movies he watched before he found himself in this wasteland. Both Lee and Will do the same in Son of Rambo, creating their own world together to escape from their troubled home lives. For the locations, I would choose to not film in a studio and film on location, as this would make it much easier for the children to work in an environment that they can see and feel. In preparation for the production, I have researched the ethics of having children on a film set. For For the children to be allowed to work on set, they will both need to have a child working licence. DBS checks will take place on all crew members and adult actors. Both children will only be allowed on set for a maximum of 8 hours and can only work a maximum of 5 hours in a day, with 2.5 hours of continuous work for both. For the shooting style, I would base it primarily from the work of Swedish director Roy Andersson. In the article Complex Staging, The Hidden Dimensions of Roy Andersson's Aesthetics, written by Julian Hannick, Hannick states that Andersson is dependent upon long shots, immobility, unchanging shot scale and layered compositions. Taking inspiration from Andersson, I would use a 16mm wide-angle lens and static shots to capture the vast, desolate landscape, which would give the audience a great sense of dread knowing that these two young children are all alone in this wasteland. However, in one scene where emotions are high and it seems that all is lost, I would use a zoom lens to capture intimate close-ups of the characters' faces. This would not only be upsetting to the viewer, but also very jarring, as every other shot has been far away from the characters and would disorientate them. In post, as I would be supervising the editor, the colour grading would be greatly inspired by Annihilation, a science fiction horror film written and directed by Alex Garland that centres around a group of explorers who enter the Shimmer, a mysterious quarantine zone of mutating plants and animals caused by an alien presence. This would be a big contrast from how Roy Andersson's films are colour graded, which are mostly grey and muted colours. I want the film to be very colourful and vibrant, capturing the beautiful nature and greenery that has aggressively taken over the landscape, and to reflect on the innocence and playfulness that still remains in the children.